The story opens in the heart of Rome. A specialized FBI agent named John arrives at a world-class museum. He is acting on a high-stakes tip. A legendary art thief named Nolan Booth is targeting a priceless golden egg. John meets the museum director to issue a warning. The director is arrogant and dismissive. He boasts complete confidence in his high-tech security. John refuses to back down and conducts a manual inspection. His discovery sends a shockwave through the room. After a brief examination, John realizes the egg on display is a clever fake. The genuine treasure is already gone. To prove his point, he pours a soda over the artifact. The sugar triggers the chemical sensors and alarms scream to life. Pandemonium erupts as tourists scramble for the exits. In the midst of the chaos, John spots his target. Nolan Booth is standing right there. The chase ignites instantly. Nolan is a master of movement, using incredible parkour skills to vault over railings and outpace the guards. John stays hot on his heels through the museum halls. At one point, John manages to corner the thief. But Nolan is as slippery as he is fast. He misleads the agent with a clever distraction and vanishes. In a breathtaking move, Nolan leaps into a narrow pipe. He slides through the darkness and emerges on the opposite side of the building. John refuses to let the trail go cold. He commandeers a Porsche and tears through the historic, cobblestone streets of Rome. The engine roars as he maneuvers through tight corners. Despite John's elite driving, Nolan's cunning wins the day. The thief slips away into the city's shadows. 56 hours pass since the daring heist. Nolan is tucked away in a remote hideout. He is celebrating with a drink and the golden egg. He believes he is the most ingenious thief alive. That feeling of victory is very short-lived. He turns around to find John sitting in his living room. The FBI agent brought his entire tactical team. With every exit blocked, Nolan has no choice but to surrender. He is baffled as to how John tracked him down. John reveals a stinging truth. A rival thief known as Bishop sold him out. Bishop is the #1 most wanted thief in the world. Nolan holds the #2 spot. He has spent years trying to surpass her legendary reputation. The stolen egg is secured for Interpol custody, but the world of high-stakes theft is full of mirrors. During the transport, an undercover agent swaps the real egg for another fake. That agent is none other than Bishop herself. The next day, the tables turn on John. He is suddenly accused of being a double agent. Evidence appears out of nowhere against him. Investigators find a Swiss bank account in his name. It contains a staggering $8 million. In an instant, his lifelong reputation is dragged through the mud. John is arrested and sent to a black site prison. This facility is hidden deep in the frozen mountains of Russia. To make matters worse, his new cellmate is Nolan Booth. The two rivals are now trapped together in the freezing cold. Nolan begins to piece the puzzle together. He realizes that Bishop is the true mastermind behind their downfall. She didn't just want the egg. She wanted them out of the way. Nolan explains the true stakes of the game. This isn't just about one golden artifact. An Egyptian billionaire has made a wild offer. He wants all 3 of Cleopatra's golden eggs for his daughter's wedding. He is offering a $300 million reward to whoever delivers them. 2 eggs have been located, but the third is a ghost. Nolan was hunting the set before John interfered. Now, Bishop has framed them both to clear her path. Their conversation is cut short by prison guards. They are marched into the office of the warden. To their horror, Bishop is waiting for them. She is disguised in a prison officer's uniform. She looks calm and in control. Bishop offers Nolan a deal. She has 1 egg and a plan for the second. If Nolan helps her find the third, she will give him 10%. Nolan laughs in her face and rejects the offer. Bishop remains unfazed by his pride. She warns them that she is always 2 steps ahead. As she walks away, John is furious. He thinks Nolan just threw away their only ticket out. John suggests a temporary alliance. He wants to stop Bishop and clear his name. Nolan eventually agrees to the partnership. He dreams of becoming the top thief if Bishop is caught. The escape plan begins in the crowded dining hall. Nolan stands up and starts shouting at the top of his lungs. He tells the entire yard that John is an undercover FBI agent. A massive, dangerous prisoner takes the bait. A brutal brawl breaks out between the giant and John. The prison descends into total anarchy. Guards rush in with batons to restore order. Both John and Nolan are dragged away by the guards. John is livid, but Nolan reveals his true prize. During the fight, he swiped a security keycard. This card is their golden ticket to the exit. John realizes the method to Nolan's madness. While waiting for their moment, Nolan opens up. He talks about his father, who was a cold police officer. His father never gave him the validation he craved. Nolan became a thief because the police pay the most attention to criminals. This moment of vulnerability builds a real bond between them. They move to the final phase of the escape. They craft a DIY explosive using soap and toothpaste. The blast creates a massive distraction for the guards. Amidst the smoke, they begin scaling the towering prison walls. The climb is treacherous. Nolan slips on a patch of black ice and nearly falls. John reaches out and catches him just in time. They finally reach the helicopter landing pad. A lone guard is distracted by his phone. John knocks him out with a single strike. Nolan boards the helicopter as John holds off the guards. A soldier fires a rocket launcher at the bridge. The explosion nearly kills John, but he leaps to safety. Nolan considers leaving John behind to save himself. However, he chooses loyalty and opens fire with the minigun. The suppressive fire forces the guards back. John makes a desperate jump onto the moving helicopter. Another missile streaks through the sky toward them. John opens both side doors of the craft. The missile passes harmlessly through the cabin and hits a mountain. They disappear into the clouds, free at last. Bishop watches the escape from a monitor in London. She smiles and tips off Interpol about their location. She is playing a much larger game. Nolan and John meet a contact named Tombiu. He provides them with a new plane for their next mission. They have tracked the second egg to Spain. It belongs to a notorious arms smuggler. His villa is a literal fortress. It is guarded by elite soldiers and 90 cameras. The egg is stored in a half-meter thick titanium vault. To get inside, they prepare a deepfake video. They also plan to steal the smuggler's phone for his password. John enters the smuggler's party as a wealthy guest. Nolan disguises himself as a waiter. John spots Bishop in the crowd, looking elegant and dangerous. While the smuggler gives a speech, John lifts his phone. They don't realize that an Interpol agent named Das is watching. Nolan spills wine on John to create an excuse to leave. They retreat to a bathroom to hack the dealer's phone. They find a 45-second gap in the guard rotation. They reach the vault and use the deepfake to bypass the locks. The titanium door swings open to reveal a treasure trove. The second golden egg is sitting right there. Their joy is cut short when the alarms roar. Agent Das corners them with a loaded weapon. John disarms her and locks the vault door for safety. But they aren't alone in the room. Bishop emerges from the shadows with a smirk. A three-way fight erupts in the confined space. Bishop uses her superior agility to beat them both down. The arms dealer enters and reveals he is working for Bishop. John and Nolan are captured and tied up in the basement. The dealer demands the location of the third egg. Nolan tells a fake story about a hidden tomb in Egypt. Bishop then betrays the dealer by drugging his drink. As he collapses, she takes the second egg and leaves. The dealer wakes up in a drug-induced rage. He fires blindly at his prisoners. One lucky shot severs the ropes holding John and Nolan. They run for their lives and end up in a bullring. A massive bull charges toward them in front of a cheering crowd. Nolan tries to act like a matador to survive. John barely avoids the horns. They escape the ring and vanish into the city streets. That night, John finally shares his own dark secret. His father was a famous thief who abandoned him. This betrayal fueled his desire to become a cop. He hates thieves because they remind him of the man who left. Nolan feels a deep empathy for his partner. He decides to trust John with the truth. He knows exactly where the third egg is hidden. He explains that a Nazi officer fled to Argentina after the war. The officer had a secret code hidden inside a vintage watch. Nolan's father was a treasure hunter who found that watch. After years of research, Nolan has the final coordinates. They head deep into the jungles of Argentina. They battle through thick swamps and dense foliage. They eventually find a hidden Nazi bunker. Inside, they find a mountain of stolen gold and artifacts. The third egg of Cleopatra is glowing in the center. Before they can touch it, Bishop appears again. She has been tracking their every move. Suddenly, Agent Das and her SWAT team storm the bunker. The room becomes a chaotic battlefield. In the confusion, the three thieves jump into an old car. They drive through the bunker and fly off a massive waterfall. They crash into the river below. Nolan surfaces with the third egg in his hand. He notices John is missing and dives back in to save him. When they reach the shore, a massive secret is revealed. John was never an honest cop. He and Bishop have been partners and lovers for years. The entire betrayal was a setup to use Nolan. They needed his knowledge to find the third egg. Nolan is devastated by the double cross. They tie him to a tree and leave him in the jungle. John and Bishop travel to Egypt to collect their prize. The billionaire is hosting a massive wedding for his daughter. He presents all three eggs to the guests. Suddenly, Interpol raids the palace. The billionaire and his associates are arrested in disgrace. Even the bride is taken away in handcuffs. John and Bishop watch the raid from a safe distance. They have already collected their $300 million. They are officially the most successful thieves in history. 6 months later, they are relaxing on a yacht in Italy. Their peace is interrupted when Nolan appears on deck. He has a confident smile on his face. He reveals that he tracked down all their secret accounts. He gave every detail to Interpol, and their fortune is gone. They are now completely broke. Nolan has officially conned the con artists. He tells them he has a new job that requires a team of 3. John is hesitant, but they have no money left. Their next great adventure is just beginning. Every story has a lesson about trust and loyalty. Even among thieves, the truth eventually comes to light. If you enjoyed this cinematic journey, make sure to show some love. Drop a comment with your favorite moment and subscribe for more epic stories.